Namaskar and a very warm welcome to all of you in today's program. Right now we have a guest in our studio who has been here earlier, but at that time his title was student filmmaker, and now he is a full-fledged filmmaker, Kabir Chopra. Kabir, welcome to the program.
Hello, thank you for having me.
I like that when you said I'm no more that student filmmaker. That title is not anything.
Not a student anymore.
Not anymore. Kabir has recently started a series on YouTube. It is called Addicted, the series, and he's going to talk about that one. Kabir, tell us about the series, Addicted, the series.
It's a web series that revolves around a group of video game addicts, and it follows each character in their journey in a group therapy session for gaming addiction. So there's 8 episodes that are about 5-6 minutes each. It's available on YouTube now, and each episode focuses on a different character, and each character is addicted to a certain game. So there's one girl, Olivia, she's the main character, and she's deeply addicted to Halo. And the series explores how she got addicted to Halo, her personal life, and her adventures in this group therapy session.
So when you started the series, you wrote the storyline also?
Yes, I wrote the script.
So what made you take this particular topic?
A few things. I've always been amazed by the group dynamic. I've seen lots of movies and TV shows. Therapy sessions always really engaged me in a certain way, because you have all these very strong personalities and they're all in the same room together. They're sitting in a circle. So
listening to each other's life
listening
story.
to each other. We're not always listening to each other. Sometimes they go on top of each other, they argue. There's a lot of great back and forth. So I wanted to explore that further, but I didn't know which medium or which area. I'm not too familiar with drug addiction, but video game addiction was something that really appealed to me. So video games are something that I know a lot about. I played a lot myself.
But not to the level that you become addicted to that.
Well, a little bit here and there.
Okay.
Definitely when I was younger, I spent a lot of time playing games. So that was, the two ideas were cooking separately in my head, and then one day they kind of just came together and I thought, oh wow, this is a fantastic idea, I have to do this. A group therapy session for video game addicts, because I don't think that's been properly done before. There's lots of YouTube videos, other web series, other shows that playfully and jokingly touch on addiction with video games. They make fun of it, or they joke on it and they move on, but they don't really focus on the addiction aspect. And there's a lot of darkness in that. You know, addiction in any addiction, drug addiction, alcohol, gambling. It really goes deep, dark into your soul, and you have to. I wanted to explore that.
So these are actors who are portraying those characters.
Yes.
But when you are talking about therapy, there's a real therapist there, or what's happening?
In my series?
Yeah.
No. This is all scripted. They're
scripted.
all actors. Yes.
Okay. So how do you get your material? I mean, because to have the right kind of therapist, even if that's an actor, to say those dialogues, I mean, they handle that situation. How do you deal with that?
I mean, I did a fair amount of research. I drew from my own personal experiences, the same feelings and the same habits a video game addict would play. And I did research on the addiction aspect, read lots of stories, lots of journals, research online. The actual therapy bits, I didn't want to make it very so realistic, because that doesn't create good drama. Because lots of therapy sessions, the therapist is guiding the group in a certain direction on a certain topic, and then they let the group kind of let it out. And that works well to a certain extent, but it gets a bit bland if you're watching it for entertainment. So I kind of had to write it a certain way, write the dialogue around a personal conflict that the character is having, and then have another character counter that.
So before we show the clip, why don't you set up the scene of this Addicted series? This is the trailer is.
This is just a comprehensive trailer for the entire series, for all the characters and all the episodes.
So let's watch glimpse of this addicted
Yes or no?
series.
Are you addicted to video games?
I don't see what the problem is. It's just a game.
So, how much time do you spend playing?
8 or 9 hours a day? Not a lot?
Okay, 5 minutes tops. Then I gotta get out of here.
So you'd rather play with strangers online than your fiance? In bed?
I'd do anything for her, but we're just not ready.
So yeah, I like playing alone. So I'm not stuck with some team-killing backstabber.
Think she's got a boyfriend.
Why don't you shut your mouth before I shut it for you?
What would you do if your parents cut off your internet, huh?
Stupid piece of shit! Just leave me alone, dude.
Someone just kicked you out of a game. What do you do?
Nothing. At least I know why I'm addicted. It's just taking too much of my time. I need to get my life back.
Addiction is a struggle. It's even harder when you're fighting it alone.
Addicted, the series, which is being shown on YouTube, and you started 3 shows. 3 parts have already gone by.
Yes, 3 episodes are available right now on YouTube, and each Thursday we launch a new episode on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/addictedwebseries.
And how many people are watching that?
Well, it's tough to say. At least a
lot.
few hundred out there. We're trying to get some more.
Okay.
So please share with your friends, watch it, tell everybody
Do
about
they
it.
send you their comments?
Yes, yes, lots of people do. Again, lots of emails, lots
So
of...
what is one common point in those comments?
Lots of people say, I really love this character. He's really funny. I don't like this guy so much. Acting is good. Directing is good, which is always happy for me to hear. And then there's lots of, on YouTube you can see the thumbs up and thumbs down.
Right.
So that gives me an indicator, okay, people like this episode or people aren't quite into this one.
Okay.
So that's a good indicator for me what people are enjoying.
Right, right. Kabir, tell me one thing. Why did you decide to launch it on YouTube?
My first instinct was YouTube because I wanted to reach as many people as possible. It's much harder to make money that way, I realize, but my first priority was to, as an artist, as a filmmaker, is I want people to see my work. And YouTube has grown massively. It's so easy to share a video with so many people so quickly. And you could just look last year at Gangnam Style, how quickly this one video just spread across the world.
Right.
It was the first video to get 1 billion views. So, I mean, it would be nice if we got 1 billion views, but my goal is to share it with as many people as possible. And with YouTube, it's free and it's open to the public, and anybody can view that.
And I guess your targeted audience is that generation itself, the young people who
Yes.
are sort of, like you said, might be addicted to these games.
Yeah, of course, because my target audience is guys like me, young 20-year-olds, 20-something-year-olds who play video games. And most gamers spend a lot of time on the internet, on YouTube, watching video game videos on YouTube. And so it's right in the same pool. You can watch your new Call of Duty matchup on YouTube, and then you can watch my web series, which features a character who's addicted to Call of Duty. So
This is all something new for me, so pardon me if I ask you a question which I don't know anything about. Let's just change the direction a little bit. You have just finished working with Meera Nair.
yes.
How was it, and what were your duties included, and which film did you work on?
I assisted Meera on The Reluctant Fundamentalist,
Okay.
which released
Last month.
in April. Fantastic film, definitely watch it.
You know, it is good.
So I started working for her about 2 years ago as an intern in her office. And then when they were filming Reluctant in New York, I was on set. And so it started off as an internship, and then it gradually turned into a much bigger position. I became her assistant, and it was a great learning experience.
How was it working with, I mean, you started your career with such a great director. People have to struggle to go in her office also. So how was your experience like?
Mira is a wonderful, wonderful lady, very inspiring. I mean, when I first met her, I was very scared, I was a little intimidated. But she's such a warm, loving person. She welcomed me with open arms. And I learned a lot working in her office. I met her team, and working on this film just taught me so much. Like just the dedication and that pure passion to make a film, whatever costs, whatever obstacles come your way, and just never give up. You finish what you started, and I really admired her for that. I knew she really struggled to make this movie, and it's a success. I'm really happy.
It's still, you know, your film or your project is on much smaller scale than hers. Let's stay Reluctant Fundamentalist. I mean, of course, you said everybody has problem on the somehow when you are producing a film, but her budget is much larger than you. Do you wish you have some in future that kind of budget?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, we had no budget for Addicted, so if someone wants to give me $1 million, I would be delighted. And you know, it would. I had my own equipment, and the cast and crew were friends of mine, and I met a few of my actors in the group through like Backstage, Actors Access. I did a lot of auditions. And through that, I found a bunch of the actors, and then we became good friends after we finished filming. So we were actually just having a barbecue this weekend, just to celebrate Addicted and just to hang out.
So this Addicted series, it is only 5-6 episodes, or you will
There's
keep on
eight
episodes?
There's 8 episodes total.
Okay, and then after that?
After that,
You are already asking $1 million.
yeah, if someone wants to give me $1 million, I'll make a season 2.
Right. So this is a time if you want to invest in filmmaking or something. Here is Kabir, and who is looking for financing to fund his next project, right?
Yeah.
This is a pitch. You should do it, not me.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to do a season 2. But my first priority is finish season 1 and get it to as many viewers as possible. And if the time and place for season 2 comes along, I will make it happen. And I definitely want a bigger budget, and I want more actors, I want bigger production, bigger everything.
Kabir, when last time you were here, you were a student and you were producing your student thesis film, right? What happens with that film?
Well, Strangers, I did as a side project. I was still a student at NYU, at New York University Tisch School of the Arts. So that was a project. I did it on my own with the help of a few friends. It screened at the New York Indian Film Festival in 2012, and it screened at the 2013 Winter Film Awards here in New York. And they both got some pretty good reviews, and people seemed to really like it. Not much happened after that.
That was a short film, right?
Yeah, it was a short film. It was a 10-minute short about internet dating.
Yeah, I remember that. I guess you are very hung up on the internet or the videos and YouTube.
Oh, I mean, I spent a lot of time on the internet. So.
You are a young person. You can, like you said yourself. Getting back to this addiction part, do you think anyone has really taken any inspiration from this thing and said, oh, okay, I am addicted to this thing and maybe I should do what these guys are doing?
As of right now, I've not seen or heard any personal impacts from my web series. I mean, it would be fantastic. Something I do want to get into is, as we build our audience, I would love to listen and share stories of video game addicts who really do feel they have a problem. And I would love to sit down with them and hear their story and share their story and use that as inspiration for future episodes or side projects. Because
I'm sure there must be some forum of that kind.
Oh, yes, I'm sure there's lots. And I feel like now this is a delicate balance between the content of the film or the web series and the reality of it. I did this. This is it's fiction, it's entertainment, but it's touching on a real social issue, and I don't want to push that on anybody. I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to say, oh, this is what video game addiction is like, because it's not. It's fiction. It's based on reality, but I do want to stay true to the subject matter, and I do want to explore real video game addiction and real video game addicts, and I want to have a conversation with them, and I want to get their input.
Kabir, beside the internet dating or the video game addiction, if you have to make a fantasy film, what would be your topic?
A fantasy film?
Yeah.
You mean like a...
Because you're a big budget fantasy film.
My big budget fantasy film. You know, my dream project.
Your dream project.
Oh God. You know, there's lots of books and video games that, you know, I dreamed like, oh, I would love to do this as a film. There's one video game, The Legend of Zelda, and that's like every child in America has played that game. You play Mario or you play Zelda. Everybody knows Zelda, and
To a generation, maybe. Not
yeah,
everyone.
yeah. But I mean, it's something that my generation has grown up playing these games, and there hasn't been a lot of video movies based on video games. The few that have mostly aren't that great. But this one series, The Legend of Zelda, which is very magical and very special to me, I would love to. My dream project would be to make that into a film.
That would be nice.
It would be nice. Yeah. I don't know if it could happen, but
You know, you mentioned film festivals, and as a young man, you have attended many film festivals which are happening here in New York City, probably outside also. I'm not aware of that. When these kinds of film festival happens, whether it's Indian Film Festival or Tribeca Film Festival, what is the end result of those festivals? As someone who has been involved with them for so long.
In what sense? As a filmmaker or as a volunteer?
Filmmaker,
or?
As a filmmaker, as a volunteer, I mean, getting involved in these kinds of film festivals. Beside your film being shown, I've seen you working tirelessly.
I mean,
not you, many other young people also.
Yes, yes.
Who are into films and television.
Well, the immediate result is that filmmakers, you'll meet other filmmakers just like you. You're automatically on the same plane. Like at New York Indian Film Festival last year, my short film Strangers was playing, and then they had a big press conference with all the filmmakers, all the directors. So I was in the same room as Shyam Benegal, someone whose movies I love his movies, and he's standing right next to me. I shook his hand, and I got to stand next to him and the other directors, because now I'm a director too. I made this little itty bitty film about internet dating, and he does these great masterpieces, but that's the immediate result. You get to interact directly with filmmakers, and you can go from there. You can collaborate on future projects, you can be best friends, get drunk later on, you can, I think that's...
It's basically networking.
It's networking. It's great networking.
And has it helped you?
Absolutely, yes. I've made lots of friends, lots of filmmakers from all around the world. We keep in touch, email, Facebook, and I get to see how their new projects are coming along. They can see my new projects. They're watching my web series, and I'm watching the trailer for their movie, and it forms a community. You know, I feel like now I'm entering that filmmakers community, the global filmmaker community.
What is in New York that so many young people are getting into filmmaking?
I mean, it's New York. It's it's a magical city. Anything can happen.
I mean, you see more and more South Asians getting into the field. Earlier, there were very few, handful of them, and they were making only those immigration stories.
Yes.
Now the stories are as varied as they can be.
I think part of it is the technology has really evened the playing field. So all you need to do is spend a few $100s on a DSLR camera that's like this big, and it can take video close, not the same, but close to like a $20,000 Hollywood camera. And that gives people, it's such a small portable camera, you can just throw it in a bag, take it with you, and you could just shoot a movie with your friends. So it's much easier to make a film. It's much cheaper to make a film today than say 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
And like you were saying, everybody's downloading on YouTube also.
Exactly, and with the internet, it's so easy to share it. So you can edit it on your computer, click upload, it's on YouTube, you share with your friends, they share with their friends, and you have a hit.
But for me, I think the most important thing is that creativity,
Yes.
which is most important for any film, whether it's short or feature film, to be interesting. Because if that thing is lacking, then the film will not hold.
Well, of course, you have to tell a compelling original story, which is not easy. That being said, I think the easiest way to do that is just continuing to write and create your own stories, to film your own stories. The more you do that, the more you refine your own voice. You say, this is the kind of story I like to tell. I like to tell an immigration story, cross-cultural stories between India and New York. And the more you do that, the better your storytelling becomes, and the better films you make.
Any plan of making a feature film with targeting Indian audience?
Of course. I mean, I would love to do an Indian-American film, something like Namesake or The Reluctant Fundamentalist. Like, those are some of my favorite movies. I do have a script about a New Yorker and a Puerto Rican who get together and start a business in New York. And that's something I've been developing for the past year or so. So at some point, I would love to shoot a feature film about this topic. I'm not sure when yet, but hopefully
You still
soon.
have time.
I still have time.
You still have time. You just got over your addiction problem, quote unquote, like you said. So no, I am sure you will do something. And people like you, young people who are coming up into this field, you are writing and directing. There are people who want to be in front of the camera. Have you ever thought of coming in front of camera?
Yeah, of course. I've done it a few times.
Okay.
I acted in a few short films, both about dating, coincidentally.
Okay.
Actually, one of them is
I guess that goes with the territory.
I suppose. One of them, called 3 Dates, screened at the New York Indian Film Festival this year,
Okay.
where I go on 3 dates with 3 girls and trying to find the right one.
Were you able to find the right one?
I hope I do.
Okay, and thank you so much, Kabir, for coming here and sharing your thoughts about your series. Kabir Chopra, he's a filmmaker, director, writer, and his new series is running on YouTube. It's called Addicted, the series. Once again, give me the website quickly.
It's youtube.com/addictedwebseries.
And he has dreams, large dreams, and we wish him all the best. Thank you so much, Kabir.
Thank you so much for having me.
And the program continues.
Yes or no? Are you addicted to video games?
I don't see what the problem is. It's just a game.
So, how much time do you spend playing it?
8 or 9 hours a day? Is that a lot?
Okay, 5 minutes tops. Then I gotta get out of here.
So you'd rather play with strangers online than your fiance? In bed?
I'd do anything for her, but we're just not ready.
So yeah, I like playing alone. So I'm not stuck with some team-killing backstabber.
Think she's got a boyfriend.
Why don't you shut your mouth before I shut it for you?
What would you do if your parents cut off your internet, huh?
Stupid piece of shit! Just leave me alone, dude.
Someone just kicked you out of a game. What do?
Nothing. At least I know why I'm addicted. It's just taking too much of my time. I need to get my life back.
Addiction is a struggle. It's even harder when you're fighting it alone.